Well, come along, little children, come along. While the moon is shining bright, the moon is shining. Get on board and down the river we'll go. We're gonna raise a ruckus tonight. Man, dog. Sing it with us if you want to now. We say come along, little children, come along. While the moon is shining bright, the moon is shining. Get on board and down the river we'll go. We're gonna raise a ruckus tonight. Tell it, Sam.
And Jenny and Sambo gone to the barn.
Raise a ruckus tonight.
Well, Jenny broke the fiddle over Sambo's arm.
Raise a ruckus tonight.
Well, it wasn't too long till Sambo died.
Raise a ruckus tonight.
And that Jenny made a fiddle out of Sambo's hide.
Raise a ruckus tonight. We're gonna come along, little children, come along. While the moon is shining bright, the moon is shining. Get on board and down the river we'll go. We're gonna raise a ruckus tonight. Tell it, Paul.
Well, some say the preacher man, he don't steal.
Raise a ruckus tonight.
Well, I caught one just in my cornfield.
Raise a ruckus tonight.
One had a bushel and one had a peck.
Raise a ruckus tonight.
And one had a chicken around his neck.
Raise a ruckus tonight. We're gonna come along, let children come along. While the moon is shining bright, is shining. Get on board and down the river we'll go. We're gonna raise a ruckus tonight.
Well, good evening, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Route 60 Saturday Night. Hi, I'm Michelle Lewis, along with Randy Yohe, my co-host.
And we're thrilled to have another season of Route 60 Saturday Night here, and we're just so glad that you are all out here and all you folks there at Facebook Live Land, and let's just rock and roll tonight.
Let's do it. We've got some great artists joining us tonight, Randy. Oh my gosh.
Tonight's variety show features singer-songwriter Cat Cirner, and in the second half we're happy to have John Lilly with us.
And when you paid your $5 at the door, the proceeds are going to benefit the Cabell Wayne Association for the Blind. So we're going to do some good tonight as well as having some fun. Thank you.
That's right, they serve the blind and visually impaired at Cabell Wayne. They've been going for 4 decades, folks, doing some tremendous work, providing services for adults, children, and professionals, from assessment to daily living skills, independent living skills, training to counseling, more and more.
And you're helping us help them. So, thank you to Paul Calico and Mike McCord, all the folks here at Route 60 Music, the band, and you participants. We are Facebook Live, and we're going to archive the show so you can go back and watch it again and again. But in the meantime, hey, are you ready?
Let's get this show started!
Yeah!
Something for the rain that's a-coming. Well, wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God gonna trouble the water, say, God gonna trouble the water. Who are those children dressed in white? God gonna trouble the water. Must be the children of the Israelites. God gonna trouble the water. Say, wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God gonna trouble the water. Say, God gonna trouble the water. Do it, Doug. Those children dressed in black, God gonna trouble the water. Must be the hypocrites running by. God gonna trouble the water. Say, wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God gonna trouble the water. Say, God gonna trouble the water. Sam. Children dressed in green, God gonna trouble the water. Must be the children of the Philistines. God gonna trouble the water. Say, wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God gonna trouble the water. Say, God gonna trouble the water. Hallmark. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God gonna trouble the water. Say, God gonna trouble the water.
How about it, ladies and gentlemen? Paul, Sam, Randy, Michelle, Doug, and Charlie, the 1937 Flood Your House Band. Right here on Route 60 Saturday night. Well, we got a great guest for you tonight. Cat Cirner says her musical influences range from the acoustic sound of the Indigo Girls, Tracy Chapman and Sheryl Crow, to the soulful tunes of Indy R.E. and Lauryn Hill, and everything in between. I love making music, she says. There's no genre exempt from influencing my music.
And when listening to her music, you're going to catch glimpses of folk, blues, pop, bluegrass, and some jazzy undertones in there. And there is no life experience, no interaction, great or small, that does not affect my life as a writer. How can I not bear witness to everything that impacts us all, she says.
Amen, sister. Born in Manila, Philippines, and transplanted onto a farm in Ann Arbor, Michigan, where I lived for 6 years. Catherine Maria Cerner had more than enough room to run her adoptive family of 4. In Steubenville, Ohio, at the age of 11, she began piano lessons.
And after several years of listening to her brother practicing his guitar through the bedroom wall, she begged her mother to let her learn a new instrument. Her mother agreed, and Kat excitedly started to teach herself to play the acoustic guitar.
She was heavily involved in her church music ministry, as well as her middle school and high school choir, and she used every experience to hone her musical abilities. At 15, she started composing her own songs and performing at any venue available, churches, festivals, some small TV shows. She met many different musicians who helped her continue her musical education.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you will, make a warm round of welcome for Cat Cirner.
Yes.
Thanks so much for coming out tonight and listening to some great music, some good artists. Paul asked me to play, and I said, I think I'll have to dust off my music a little bit. So I just sent my youngest off to college, so all energy and time and money has been spent, getting past that threshold, but now all is well. So the first song I'm going to play is called Beautiful Dive. I am a natural, I'm going to warn you all ahead of time, I am a natural love song ballad kind of writer. So it's very gushy or it's severe heartbreak. So I'm sure you can pick out which songs are which. But anyways, this is a Beautiful Dive. Waiting for the words to come, why don't they come to me? Watching my destruction from the cyclone as it leaves. Why so quietly? Why so silently? But you still steal my breath. You still have what a beautiful dime, dime, dime. Oh, what a beautiful dime. Certain sunlit hopes I know will never come to pass, hiding all our dreams of chances, making all these minutes last. But time goes so quickly. Why so quickly? But you still steal my breath. You still have me living life without regret. And you still make me fly. And oh, what a beautiful die. Oh, what a beautiful dive. Aching every step to you, a mile in my mind. Will of granite, how can you perceive a softer side? Oh, it's trusting love. Believing it's all enough. So breathe a single breath. Take my hand and live your life without regret. 'Cause love can make you fly. And oh, what a beautiful life. Oh, here's your beautiful life. Oh, what a beautiful life. So that wasn't like sad, it was hopeful. That's, you know. It's one of the things I've never been able to do is write angry music. I guess that could be a good thing. The less angry people in the world, the better off. That's right. So again, another song of Lerv. This song is called Gray, and it's just about that love is not all black and white, as a lot of us, you know, hope it can be. Everything is not cut and dry. So this is definitely, I think I was around, oh goodness, maybe 18 or 19. So I was a baby when I wrote this. This is called Gray. It's a little ballady for you. lofty heights, they crumble in your darkest hour. With granite too hard to grind, the cracks in your armor, the doubts in your mind. Now I can't escape the ever-changing shades of gray, with wind out black and white in colors of passion you always lose sight. The evolution of our souls, the hands that steady us when we lose control, the pain of shedding our skin. My patience is growing, oh, so thin. Haunted by memories of you and I beneath covered leaves. Rain starts its descent, it bleeds all the colors, it washes my sins. But now I hide behind my songs and my guitar, but your face stays the same, a ghost in the distance, but love still remains. And I am lost in your eyes, and I don't know where time is gone, but I wish in moonlight that someone is holding you tonight, 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 yeah. Rays of light. Yes, I do have to have my own music in front of me. Not ashamed to say it. Been to many concerts, and I feel better because a lot of professionals, they forget their own words and chords all the time. So I feel like I'm in good company. So this next song is called Fly, and this is after a breakup, you know. So this is just, you know, after you work out all the bad vibes of feeling hopeful. So that's what this one's about. Forgetting where I'm playing it. Who turned out the lights? And are you satisfied to sit in darkness and complain? Who can say life is only made of moments where you stay or walk away when I need? So many times I've broken down, but I'm finding my feet, standing my ground, but I fall face down. I feel the weight I can't get from under, my time is down. No chance to get another. I won't wait for this dance to pass me by. I've got to fly. who can say your heart wasn't meant to bleed? I hold mine close, it's up my sleeve, but a look was all it took, like the one that you gave me, and I said, here, hold this for me. I broke down so many times that I lost count, but I'm finding my feet, standing my ground, but I fall face down. I feel the weight I can't get from under, my time is down, no chance to get another. I won't wait for this dance to pass me by. I've got to fly. 'Cause we fall face down, we feel the weight we can't get from under. Our time is now, no chance to get another. I won't wait for this life to pass me by. I've got to fly.
Cat Cirner. Oh my gosh, are we lucky tonight or what? Heaven's sake, you're good, girl.
I don't know, that last little bit, I swear there was a fly, and I swallowed it. I took that big breath with my diaphragm, and it was like, now!
Got to get your protein.
Meat group.
So,
This is the interview portion of our show, Kat. We're going to delve deep into your psyche.
grill you.
Do you really want to do that?
We read a great introduction, and you know, you've been through a lot, and started out, as you said, in church and with a ministry. But how did you really get started when playing in front of audiences solo?
Well, what I want to know is 11 years old and piano lessons, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Classical piano, so kind
what
of a
brand
far
is this?
stretch.
Yeah, how does that translate?
My parents, bless them both, neither of them have any musical ability. So they were determined with the 4 kids. They said, you must play an instrument, we don't care what it is, for at least a couple years. So most of us started, and we liked it enough that we continued. And I continued until my brother, picked up a Stratocaster, and I heard him, in the next room, and I was like, that's cool. I want to be like my big brother. What is he playing? So that's kind of the transition I made was my brother kind of was a big catalyst for me to move to guitar, and then it was just a matter of teaching myself because, musical concepts and theory are the same. You can really, when you teach yourself one instrument, you can fiddle around with others, and some you get better at, and you're like, oh, this is for me, and some you're like, okay, I'm gonna put that down now.
I just could not ever get past music theory. I just couldn't do it.
It does hurt my head. I'm not gonna lie. It was like pulling teeth in college because I was like, oh, I'll take a musical theory course. This will be great. I was thinking, oh, good for me. And then I got in and I was like, wait, you actually have to know what you're doing. I have to what? I have to write this score out in a different key and transpose, and I was like, I slid by with a B+.
Good for you.
I hung out with a lot of music majors.
That's called above average, Kat. You know that? That's above average.
So how are you inspired now when it comes to your music and writing and such?
I think a lot is the same. I think now there's less turmoil in a lot of ways and chaos because as you get older, most of us, hopefully our lives settle down a little bit more and you're not nomading all over the place. You have a family, a lot of people, or you just have a really good core of friends around you and support. So I think that I've always been a natural love writer, so that hasn't changed. But I guess now I just, with most people, when you listen to them, that does inspire you in a lot of ways, is what they're going through. So I guess you kind of live vicariously through other people, and that inspires you to make good music.
So if folks want to hear you again, where are you going to be next?
I am going to be at the Ironton, Ohio. They're having Wizard Fest. And that is basically a Harry Potter huge festival. It goes on for 2 days. This is good for families of all ages, because I am going.
So you can get your kids and grandkids to go along with you without any trouble.
Exactly. And the tickets are super cheap. But I will be playing a couple sets on one of those days. We haven't got the schedule worked out, but I will be there. That is November 10th, I believe, that weekend.
So plenty of time to put it on the calendar.
Much colder, not like this pleasant environment that we're in right now.
Kat, we always ask the artists that come here to Route 60 Saturday night, if you had your druthers, who would you really like to play with?
Oh, that's hard. Oh, play with. My musical skills are limited, so probably the Indigo Girls, because they were the first band that I put a CD on and learned every song, the lead guitar from start to finish, along with the lead vocals.
How old were you when you did that?
Oh, 16 maybe.
Yeah, wow.
So
good stuff.
It's definitely been a lifelong pursuit of, I think I was better back then because I didn't forget as much and things were much nimbler then. But yeah, that's definitely, I think, they're incredible singer-songwriters. They don't put their head in the sand, and they speak of humanity and things that they know need to change, so they inspire other people who aren't musicians to, a lot like this, they go out and do charity events and things like that. So I think that's super important.
What about current musicians? Anybody that really lights your fire that's out there right now?
It's really funny. I write one way, and then my musical tastes are completely eclectic. So it's very strange. I really like this group called Lake Street Dive.
Oh, yeah.
And I love Chris Stapleton. I was totally into him before he became huge. I listened to the Steel Drivers incessantly, and when I had a band, we used to play a lot of Steel Drivers music. So I love his voice, just amazing power. One of those people who has been writing for years in the Nashville community and finally has gotten the recognition. So
I want to know, if we go online and want to hear your music, is that possible?
I don't have anything for sale. I do have some YouTube videos that I've done, so there's a collection.
YouTube it, buddy.
Yeah, Cat Cirner, or I have Facebook. I have a Facebook page, and usually any video I put up of me singing out is on that. So far, nothing yet.
And her last name is Cirner.
Yes, very tricky. Not like Brown or Smith.
And I'll tell you what, you say you may have been better a little bit earlier, but I hear a lot of seasoned soul in this music right now. So how about it, folks? How about a couple more songs?
Yeah.
From Cat Cirner?
I'm going to change my tuning here really quickly. It's going to take me just a second. I used to have 2 guitars. I only have 1 because I don't play out as much anymore. So that's what I usually had going on. Get my things together. All right, take this off because that's not doing me any good. Sorry. Just gave myself another excuse to buy another guitar. Yeah. There we go. I knew I could do it. This I wrote, I was probably still in high school, I think. So this is a kind of nostalgic piece for me. This is called Today. into my soul in ways you'll never know. The truth is in your eyes, and somewhere I lose control. Am I the only one to glide on broken wings, to soar above the noise, to reach for higher things? And it was your love that helped me believe in the infinite arms of heaven's sweet relief. Sweet relief. Now the years may pass us by before our hearts can make us wise to the ebb and flow of time, to the fears we try to hide. Do I speak with clarity of my own complacencies? Do you see the will inside, burning strong and burning bright? Because this skin is nothing more than the place this heart is for. Guilt and shame, pain and rage, they try to keep you lost. Play the game, but what a cost. What a cost. Just as dark as way too light, as the moon chases the sun. Oh, my love is stretching wide, and this life has just begun. So hold the ones you love, put no weight in asking why. Just soar above the noise, 'cause the broken learn to fly. And it was your love that helped me believe in the infinite arms of heaven's sweet relief. Sweet relief. Sweet relief. All right. I'm going to admit my age, and I was actually mowing today before I came here, before the rain came. And I'm the one who gets to rake the grass, so I think that's the residual that we're hearing here. I apologize. I'm kind of like, halfway through. Oh, good. one more D tune here. This is, my last song is called Phoenix. And I actually wrote this for my wife, my current wife, my only wife. I shouldn't say current. That sounds very bad. Sorry, honey. So this is just that kind of love story kind of thing, kind of your typical meet someone and you're not planning it, and then, you know, you're head over heels the next minute and you can't think of your life without them. So thank you, honey, for putting up with my banging and incessant warbling in the house. I'm sure that's really pleasant at, you know, midnight sometimes when you get it in, you're like, oh, this is great, I'm gonna go play this. It's just like, no. Have your musical inspiration in the morning. So this is called Phoenix. Sitting at the table, and I know it's been a while. You know I'd run if I were able, but I'm captive to your eyes, and I'm trying to close the distance between resolve and raging fire. For 7 years I'm burning just to walk this razor wide, and it's too wide for me to hold. It's too big for me to hide. It's too strong for me to push it under. Like the phoenix from the ashes, lighting up the sky. Are you ready? Yeah. 'Cause my love is on the rise. Are you ready? Yeah. 'Cause my love is on the rise. I know you feel my hesitation, and I can see you lost your fight, and all that's left is our frustrations, the deep breath before the dive, and as the world is rushing by us, all I can feel is exhilaration, the crashing back over earth and sky, the freedom in our revelation, and it's too high for me to hold. It's too big for me to hide. It's too strong for me to put it under. Like a phoenix from the ashes, lighting up the sky. Are you ready? Yeah. 'Cause my love is on the rise. Are you ready? Yeah. 'Cause my love is on the rise. Now the winds are blowing harder, you very much.
Cat Cirner, ladies and gentlemen.
Well done, Pat.
Fresh
Love
off a
it.
fantastic gig at Mulberry Farms Farm to Table Party in Boyd County. Here with us at Route 60 Saturday night, coming up on November 10th at the Ironton Wizard Fest. You can see her videos on YouTube. Cat Cirner. And now, continuing on with the show. I know, I'm getting there. We're going to change things up a little bit because we've got some special activities going on here. From what I understand, this is a tradition with the Flood and with Charlie and with Bonnie Lawrence and Clayton Brooks, the Dancing Doctors. We're going to play a waltz, and we've got some waltzers for you right here at Route 60 Saturday night.
Kick it off.
Our wonderful dancers. Thank you.
Very much.
Dancin Doctors. We figured this is the last time we can do a summertime song because next week it ends. And I'm, for one, kind of glad about that.
Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cod is high. Oh, your daddy's rich and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings you're gonna rise up singing, and then you'll spread your wings and you'll take to the sky. But till that morning, there's nothing can harm you with your daddy and mommy standing by. living is easy. Fish are jumping, 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 and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich, and your mama looking so harsh, little baby, don't you cry.
It's summertime,
Oh, don't you cry. Oh, no, it's summertime. Oh, yeah.
what a marvelous night for a dance.
Oh, it's
Fantabulous
summertime. It is a birthday, birthday, happy birthday. Summertime, summertime, summertime. Happy birthday in the summertime.
Happy birthday, PJ.
Happy birthday, PJ.
Oh my gosh, summertime, that's one of our favorites. I remember the first time we killed that was probably like 5 years ago, Sam. It was a political fundraiser we were playing at. I think it was a long time ago. I can't even remember who the candidate was, but we nailed it, and we've kept it in our repertoire ever since. Hey, you know what? The proceeds from the door tonight are going to benefit the Cabell Wayne Association for the Blind. They're serving the blind and visually impaired in Cabell and Wayne counties for 4 decades.
That's exactly right, Michelle. They provide, yes, sir, yes, sir. Providing services for adults, children, and professionals, from assessment to daily living skills, independent living skills, training to counseling, and much more. Again, thank you for helping the Cabell Wayne Association for the Blind.
You know, over the years, I've heard some pretty tall tales, and I think it's about that time in the middle of our show for our storyteller. Are you ready, Randy Yohe?
I'm going to give it a go.
Oh, let's do this. Our storyteller, Randy Yohe, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, it's a little different one. And my wife Vicki helped me with this one a lot. So you take the credit or the blame. All right, when we go to the beach, from right here in our Huntington general tri-state area, I say we're going to the beach. What beach are we talking about? Myrtle. See, duh. And Myrtle Beach, there's no doubt about it. And let me say right now that all the thoughts and prayers of everybody here at Route 60 Saturday night go out to anybody that may be in harm's way. Right now they're getting pelted with rain. There's West Virginia expatriates there, there's first responders, there's rescue efforts. We all pray for a lot of safety, nobody gets hurt, and a very quick recovery there. Not just the Huntington area. You know, I was listening to Javi Kirchhoff's show statewide, and he was talking about people that say the beach that live in Wheeling, or that live in Beckley, or that live in Romney. I mean, it's all West Virginia. And Vicki and I went to Myrtle Beach last weekend just because we found a flight on Allegiant that was just for a song you can get up there. You know, we used to have to, tell me how many remember packing up the car, getting ready for that 9-hour trip, you know, and then which way were you going to go? Were you going to go the long way, or were you going to go the short way? You know, were you going to go the quick way, or you were going to get on, what was it, 501 maybe, and start meandering through those little towns, the sleepy little towns, seeing the guys on their porches rocking and such, you know, stopping for the boiled peanuts. And let me tell you, fellas, you better stop at the peach stands. And for that peach stand and peach ice cream like I didn't do, and I'm still hearing about it 15 years later. So I'm serious. And when you get into Myrtle Beach, like if you go, years ago we went and saw Alabama, I think it was, at the Alabama Theater. They had played at the Bowery, of course, for years before that. And but on the way back from the Alabama Theater, seeing Alabama, Vicki's going, hot now, hot now. Hot now, and I'm going, oh, okay, let's get back to the hotel, you know. She says, no, we're passing a Krispy Kreme donut, and the sign was on. It said, hot now. When the hot now sign is on, you better stop for donuts, gosh darn it. You're going to be in serious trouble. I didn't realize this was going to all be so self-deprecating, but I'm telling you, if I ever not said stop at the hot now, okay, you got to do that. She doesn't necessarily want to stop now, but I'm always going to say it if the light is on. You know, last weekend we took Allegiant, and we had to fly out like about 10 o'clock at night on a Thursday, and you got to come back on a Sunday. Well, the plane was late because a bird hit it on the way in, so they had to check it all out. And that was okay because the waiting room there at Tri-State Airport was full of people that knew each other. In fact, she was on Facebook, and she made a little Facebook saying, we're waiting for the plane to take off because a bird hit it. Then all of a sudden she got an answer on Facebook and said, oh, hey, Vicki, I'm right here about 3 rows over. I'm waiting too. And they came over and hugged each other. I mean, everybody knows everybody else that's going to Myrtle Beach because it's the beach for all of us right here. In fact, way back when, it was first known as Newtown before the end of the last century. And in 1900, the Horry County Herald, the newspaper there, sponsored a Name That Growing Seaside Community contest, and Myrtle Beach won in recognition of the southern wax myrtle tree that's abundantly grown there. In fact, bayberry candles are made from myrtle tree wax. So there you go. You can take that home. And then another connection to Huntington is the Atalaya Castle. Is that right? Atalaya? Yeah. Well, okay. And that's at Huntington Beach State Park, and that's down near Murrells Inlet, just down a little bit in the general Myrtle Beach area. But it's named after, it was the winter home of Archer and Anna Huntington. Archer was the stepson of Collis P. Huntington. And you know, what was interesting is that the statue of Collis P. that's right there in front of the CSX building on 7th Street in Huntington was sculpted by a guy named Gutzon Borglum. And a lot of his statues can be seen at Brook Green Gardens, which is also in the general Myrtle Beach area, right down there near Murrells Inlet as well. In fact, it was years and years ago that we, at Christmas time, went to Brook Green Gardens, and they were having a seafood outdoor dinner. And you could order, I guess, well, we ordered oysters. And they pulled these oysters that were up out of a steamer, but they were all still humped together, and they had mud on them, and they just plopped them down. I don't even know if it was on a plate or a tin or whatever it was. But the other choice was shrimp and grits. Why I ordered oysters, I don't know. We'd never shucked an oyster before, and they handed us this hunk of junk that had mud on it and stuff. And then we saw these beautiful shrimp and grit bowls going by, and I go, she says, why didn't you order that? So what are you going to do? But the connections are incredible. We got in a cab, and they said, where are you from? West Virginia. Oh, half the people went to Marshall there, up and down the street. And Dan D'Antonio, the coach of the Marshall University Thundering-Herd basketball team, coached right here at Socasee High School for years and years. In fact, he still owns part of this and that, and as a share of this and that restaurant, and the Christmas basketball tournament he still runs right here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The connections are incredible when it comes to Myrtle Beach. So why do we go to Myrtle Beach? You can see Alabama at the Bowery, and we walk by the Bowery. It's not quite the same as it was, but it's still there, and there's no doubt about it. It's family friendly for grandparents and kids. Or do you go for Bike Week? Last week was Mustang Week. I didn't realize they had Mustang Week, but you never saw so many Mustangs, and I never knew they could be so loud. I'm talking about really, really loud. But the beach is the thing. Walking on the beach is great. In fact, one day we clocked 13.1 miles, 30,000 steps on the beach. We walked about 5.5 miles down because we found a restaurant that we liked. You know, there's still a lot of the old places, the Calabash places that have the seafood buffets, you know, that start at 1 and 2 o'clock, and depending how old you are, it's cheaper as you go along. But then they also have some new restaurants and some new hotels that are building up. There's still a lot of the old places, though. You know, if anything started with C, there's the Seacrest, there's the Sea Foam, there's the Sea Palms, the Seahorse, I think I went by one of them. But there's also some new places that are being built up as well. What you got to do at a hotel, though, we saw, is if you want a nice place by the pool, you get up at dawn, you get your towels together, you get out there, you find your prime spot, and you claim it, because otherwise everybody's going to flock in, and you're not going to get that place at all. Where else can you give a kid a plastic shovel on the beach, and they're good for hours? You're just going down the beach, and kids are just shoveling sand, like no one's business. You know, mountains, we saw valleys and craters. It was incredible. There's the old school places, the Wings, where you can go and buy the shark tooth necklaces and the T-shirts for $5 and so on and so forth. But there's a lot of a resurgence going on with remodeling and such. You see people in Myrtle Beach that know you, and you know them. It's amazing how many West Virginia people you see. We saw one person that said it's the hospitality of West Virginia Hills Oceanside, which is what you get at Myrtle Beach. People go there for the minor league baseball, for the golf, for the fishing, for the go-karts, for the amusement parks, for the big Ferris wheels. But you go to swim, you go to sit by the pool and read, you go to relax, and you just go yourself to Myrtle Beach and have a good time. And we pray for everybody in Myrtle Beach tonight.
Thank you, Randy. Such wonderful sentiments. Our prayers were with everybody facing the battle with the storms right now. We are the 1937 Flood. We are your house band, and we are just getting ready for our headliner tonight, John Lilly. But we got a couple of songs left for you before that.
Look at me, I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree, and I don't know if I'm clinging to a cloud. I can't understand, I get misty just holding your hand. Look my way, and 1,000 violins begin to play. Or it might be the sound of your hello, the music I hear. I get misty the moment you're near. You could say that you're leading me on, but that's just what I want you to do. Don't you notice how helplessly I'm lost? That's why following you on my own. Would I wander through this wonderland alone, never knowing my right foot from my left, my hat from my glove? I get misty, I'm too much in love. Bob Dylan? Bob Dylan?
Stole my poor heart away. Turned my skies blue from gray. Love spent the night with Peggy Day. And it's a Peggy night. Made my feet seem so bright. And the girl is out of sight. day. Stole my heart away. Turned the skies to blue from gray.
Love's for the night, make a day.
One time, George. Get it, Sam. Sam, play. Tell it, Randy. Randy Hamilton. Over to Paul now. Get it, Paul Martin. Bridge guy. Before I even knew her name, you know I loved her just the same. I tell them all wherever I go, just so they'll know that she's my little lady. And I'm my soul, said Peggy. Stole my poor heart away. Turned my skies to blue from gray. Love's for the night, Peggy Day. She mama,
Oh, that Bob Dylan. That Bob Dylan.
Your house band, the 1936 Flood, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, now we have such a big treat tonight.
We're looking
John
forward to it.
Lilly is right here with us, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir, Bob. John Lilly's a multifaceted performer and songwriter who makes his home in Charleston, West Virginia. An award-winning songwriter, John is also recognized as an accomplished vocalist and song stylist. He accompanies himself on acoustic guitar and mandolin, playing original songs that sound as old as the hills and old songs like they were made yesterday. According to one reviewer, what did he say, Michelle?
If Hank Williams had a sunny disposition, he'd be John Lilly, and that's from the Durham, North Carolina Independent. Yeah. Well, he was born in Chicago, and John's traveled to 48 states, South and Central America, and the United Kingdom, both as a solo artist and as a member of performing groups, including the Green Grass Cloggers, Ralph Blizzard, and the New Southern Ramblers, Company Comin', and most recently, Blue Yonder.
Yes, sirree. He's especially known for his mastery of the early country music styles of Jimmy Rogers and Hank Williams. John is considered a fine yodeler. Frequently teaches workshops on yodeling, as well as workshops in the songs of Jimmy Rogers and Hank Williams.
Now, he's been on the teaching staff for Early Country Music Week at the Augusta Heritage Center at Davis and Elkins College 5 times. He's recorded 6 solo CDs, and his most recent release is titled Thinking About the Weather. It's a solo acoustic recording featuring 12 original songs. It was released in January 2015. Other solo recordings include Cold Comfort from 2011, Live on Red Barn Radio 2009, Haunted Honky Tonk 2007, Last Chance to Dance 2003, Broken Moon in 2000.
So, let's help us welcome Mr. John Lilly.
Yeah!
Anti-ring from Abilene, wore a two-tone top. Half Priscilla from Amarillo, just to poop the pop. Uncle Joe from El Paso put oil in his hair. Old Aunt Flo from Del Rio, Cousin Misty from Corpus Christi had her whole family there. Come one and all, well as you are able. Time of year is finally here, so let's gather round the table. Old Aunt Hannah from Texarkana plays a mean guitar, while Uncle George from Valley Forge puffs on his cigar. Uncle Bob from Gobbler's Knob won't stop telling jokes. Cousin Clyde from Sunnyside won't stop bumming smoke. Come one and all, well as you are able. Time of year is finally here, so let's gather around the table. Football coaches from Nacogdoches argue about the game. Uncle Paul from Marble Falls, he looks about the same. Aunt Paulette, she's deep in debt, but she's too proud to tell. Uncle Phil from Science Hill, he owns an oil well. Come one and all,
Well, as you are able, time of year finally is. Let's gather around the table. Gene and Joan from San Antonio make the best tamales. Old Aunt Flo from Del Rio, she raises border collies. Now Uncle Chuck, he drives a truck, lets the engine run. Cousin Jeannie in her bikini lays out in the sun. Come one and all, well as you are able. Time of year is finally here, so let's gather around the table. Now Cousin Nancy, she dresses fancy, only rides the train. Old Aunt Sue from Waterloo, walking with a cane. Aunt Roberta from West Alberta got an artificial knee. Uncle Frank, he owns the bank and he's happy as can be. Come one and all, well as you are able. Time of year is finally here, so let's gather around the table. Old Aunt Rose from Mariposa, her husband passed away. Young Vanessa from Odessa brought her fiancé. Cousin Shannon from Buchanan brought her wife and her daughter. No one knows where Josie goes in that car her husband bought her. Come one and all, well as you are able. Time of year is finally here, so let's gather around the table. Come one and all, well as you are able. Time of year is finally here, so let's get round the table. Thank you all. That's kind of a true story. This is fun being here. I like this. Hank Williams was born on September 17th. So I'm going to sing a Hank Williams song, if that's okay. In honor of his birthday. We have a big Hank Williams tribute. Been doing Hank Williams tributes for, it's going to be our 17th year in January. The second year we've been doing it in Oak Hill. Y'all know Rob McNerlin? Rob's a good buddy. He does these Hank Williams tributes with us. We did one last year in Oak Hill, and Rob was singing a song called The Lost Highway, one of Hank's big songs. And he's singing The Lost Highway, and all of a sudden the lights turn red. They turn green, and they turn blue, and they turn red, and green, and blue, and they start flashing like this. And I look at him, he looks at me, and all of a sudden, the sound gets all echoey like this. We're looking at each other, we didn't know what was going on. And after the song was over, he goes, what were they doing? I go, I don't know. Just ask the sound man afterwards. After the show was over, we asked the sound man, what were you doing during the Lost Highway? He goes, I don't know what was happening. It was the ghost of Hank Williams visiting us. I have no other explanation. Here's the last song Hank Williams wrote, called The Log Train. If you will listen, the song I will sing about my daddy who ran a log train way down in the Southland in old Alabama. We lived in a place that they called Chapman Town. Every morning at the break of day, he'd grab his lunch bucket and be on his way. Winter or summer, sunshine or rain, every morning he'd run that old log train. Sweating and swearing all the day long, try and get up, you oxen, keep moving along. Load 'em up, boys, it looks like rain. We've got to keep rolling that old log train. Then late in the evening with the sun sinking low. Way off in the distance you could hear the train blow. Folks had come running, Mama would say, get the supper on the table, here comes the log train. So I'm going to sing a song dedicated to Paul Calicote. Paul's a dedicated musician and dedicated store owner, a good friend to a lot of people, and he's a dedicated songwriter. I know anybody who writes a song might identify with this song. I especially want to dedicate this to Paul. I can sing Hank Williams. I can sing Hank Williams till I'm blue in the face. Somebody comes along and takes my place, sings it better than me, better looking than me. So I might as well sing my own damn songs. It might be right, it might be wrong, who's to say? Gonna sing them anyway. I belong to these songs and these songs belong to me. Some nights I can't get a minute's rest, but the songs in my brain and the songs in my breast, songs in my dreams, they're in the air it seems. But when I reach out to touch them they evaporate. All I can do is sit around and wait for them to come on back. I can hear them laugh. I belong to these songs and these songs belong to me. Some of them only sound good with a band. Some of them I don't even understand. Some might kill you, some might set you free. Maybe some big wig will pick them up, write me a check for $1 million, put up my feet, living on Easy Street. More likely than that, I'm gonna starve to death. I'll be writing a song with my dying breath, go skipping away with a new song to play. I belong to these songs and these songs belong to me. I can sing Jimmy Rogers till I'm blue in the face. Somebody comes along and takes my place and sings it better than me, better looking than me. So I might as well sing my own damn songs. Some are too short, some are too long, who's to say? Gonna sing them anyway. I belong to these songs and these songs belong to me. I belong to these songs and these songs belong to me.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, he blows me away every time, John Lilly. Every time you blow me away. You're so phenomenal. My goodness, thank you for being here tonight.
My pleasure.
You know where this man is fresh off of Nova Scotia.
Yeah, I
He
heard
was
that.
just in Nova Scotia with Rob McNerlin. He was the featured act at the 28th annual Hank Snow Tribute Concert. Is that right?
Yodeling.
And I said, I tried to remember what Hank Snow did, and the song that he said first of all was "I've Been Everywhere."
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. You've been everywhere. You have. So how are your songs received as you travel throughout the world?
Most people like them.
Yeah. I can see why. And we have some CDs of yours for sale and available at the merchandise table this evening. I encourage you to take advantage of that while they're still here.
There's just not enough to go around, so hope people rush back to the table and buy them all.
John, how'd you get started as a performer?
Well, I just always wanted to play and sing. And my dad played harmonica. When I was 3 years old, I got his harmonica and I blew into it, and I had a mouthful of crackers. So Dad went out and bought me my own harmonica. So I started playing harmonica. And when I was 6 years old, I took tap dance lessons. And I remember going out on the stage and doing my tap dance thing. I thought, I could get used to this. So I started out as a tap dancer, and then I sang in choirs and had folk duos and trios and stuff all through high school and college, and that was just a couple years ago. I just always felt comfortable on stage, and I like to play and sing and write songs.
Well, how did the Hank Williams tribute begin? What was the thing that sparked that?
Well, Rob McNerlin and I were sharing a stage down in Princeton, West Virginia, at a place called Sister's Coffee House. This was the summer of 1992, summer of 2002.
2002.
Trying to do my math.
Keep the
here.
math right. That's right.
And there was the 50th anniversary of Hank Williams' death was coming up that January 1st or December 31st. So Rob and I thought, well, let's do a Hank Williams show. We had a guy named Buddy Griffin join us. It was me, Rob, and Buddy Griffin, and we did it for about 15 people down there. And the second night, a bus came up from Alabama. It was lasttour.com. They were following the steps of Hank Williams' last trip.
Oh, incredible.
And they had a bunch of people on the bus that were very interesting. They were all from the Montgomery area. Some were musicians who played with Hank Williams when he was a young performer.
Wow.
And there was also people who knew his family and knew some of the stories behind some of the songs. So it was real interesting. And then after the show was over, we stayed up and talked for a little bit at the coffee house, and then went out to go home. And there was a note in the windshield, something, if you want to know the real story of Hank Williams, just call this number. So we called the number, and the guy told us some wild tale. But,
So now,
it's a long story, but we eventually started doing the show up here in Charleston. We do it at the Clay Center, and it draws about 450 people now. It'll be at January 5th this year.
So mark your calendar and make sure to make plans for January 5th for the Hank Williams tribute in Charleston. I'm wondering about Blue Yonder. This is your latest group.
Yeah, we've been a band for 5 years. We've been playing every Tuesday at a place called the Bluegrass Kitchen in Charleston. It's a nice restaurant. They have music there. And we're there every Tuesday from 7 to 9. No cover. Come on down.
It's right on Washington Street, just near the Capitol.
Yep.
You got a couple more tunes for us? Because we can't get enough of it.
I think I can squeeze out one.
I love this.
Right here, Route 60 Saturday night, John Lilly.
I recently retired from a job I had with the state of West Virginia. I edited a magazine called Golden Seal. I took a leave of absence before I retired, and I went on a 38-city tour. It was nine weeks of touring. 38 cities, 38 concerts, crashed on 38 couches. I had a great time, but for the first couple of weeks, I was getting lost a lot. The maps weren't really doing it for me, and I was trying to follow directions, and I just kept getting lost, and I got to my cousin's house in New York. I was complaining about this, and she said, well, quit being so cheap and get a GPS. Took me down to the Best Buy and showed me what to buy, and I bought it, and it changed my life. No longer was I lost, and no longer was I all alone. I developed an unholy relationship with the GPS. G is for the girl who rides beside me in his car. P is for the pounding sound I feel within my heart. S is for the satellite only she can see when I need directions or a little company. She talks to me, and lost and all alone. She talks to me, her voice so sweet and low. She tells me where to go. She talks to me. She talks to me. She's always there to tell me it's time to make a turn. And if I ignore her, she doesn't seem concerned. If I go the other way or make some huge mistake, she just takes a minute out and she recalculates and she talks to me. I'm lost and all alone. She talks to me. In a voice so sweet and low, she tells me where to go. She talks to me. She talks to me. She feels so real every time she speaks. Oh, I know she's just some fantasy. G is for the good times that we've both been through. P is for precious places that she leads me to. S is for the silly fight we had back in the spring. She and I both realized it didn't mean a thing. She still talks to me. I'm lost and all alone. She talks to me. Her voice so sweet and low, she tells me where to go. She talks to me. She talks and talks and talks and talks and talks and talks and talks to me. Thank you. Thank you. That's a true story if ever there was one. I'm going to do one more song. Thank you so much for being a great audience and for putting this thing on and for raising money for worthy causes. I got one song left for you. This is a title cut off my CD called Thinking About the Weather. It's not about the weather, but that's what it's called. I've been thinking about the weather, thinking about the truth, been thinking about forever. I think about me and you when the snow is on the mountain and the halo around the moon. Been thinking about perfection, thinking about me and you. That's all I want to do. I've been thinking about the ocean, thinking about the trees, been thinking about forever and the way things used to be. About the day when I first met you, about tomorrow afternoon. Been thinking about forever, thinking about me and you. That's all I want to do. Everything I do makes me think about me and you. I've been thinking about Chicago, some crowded avenue. Been thinking about the way you shout when you get the blues. Been thinking about forgiveness, thinking about gratitude. Been thinking about perfection, thinking about me and you. That's all I want to do. Everything I do makes me think about me and you. I've been thinking about the weather,
Thank you.
John Lilly, ladies and gentlemen, one more time. Let him know how much we appreciate him tonight. Thank you, John.
Thanks, John. John Lilly, ladies and gentlemen. You can see him on Tuesdays at the Bluegrass Kitchen right there on Washington Street in downtown Charleston, West by God, Virginia. I got in trouble, like at WSAZ the first time I was new here, and just 89 or something like that, and I think I said West by God, Virginia on the air, and I got scolded like
Did you get in trouble for that?
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
But I can say it here okay.
So you know where to find Cat Cerner's music. You know where to find John Lilly's music. We've got some CDs available in the back as well.
We just want to thank our performers that came here. Cat Cirner, awesome.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful.
John Lilly, just wonderful stuff. They just all put a smile on our faces and a melody in our hearts, and we really appreciate it. And Cat, you can see her November 10th at the Ironton Wizard Fest. We'll all be there with our pointy hats on.
Here's a couple more tunes from the 1937 flood.
Our house band, ladies and gentlemen.
Rain came down the tin roof and hardly a word was spoke from the birthday party. Kitchen light fell asleep on the bedroom floor. Me and her were talking softer about the time before I lost her. Picture sat on top of the chest of drawers. One red rose in the Bible, pressed between the holy alphabet. Wouldn't believe me if I told you one I never knew, never will forget. Play one, Doug. Get it, Sam. One red rose in the Bible, pressed between the holy alphabet. Wouldn't believe me if I told you what I never knew, never will forget. Rainy nights get dark real early, her dress was soft, hair was curly, we danced around the table to the old banjo. Rainy nights are made for lovers, we lay still beneath the covers. I ain't ever felt like that before. One red rose in the Bible, pressed between the holy alphabet. Wouldn't believe me if I told you what I never knew, never will forget. Play it, Paul. Got that chorus, sing it with us. This is the last singing of the evening. One red rose in the Bible, pressed between the holy alphabet. Wouldn't believe me if I told you what I never knew, never will forget. What I never knew, never will forget. Thank you.
right here, folks. Paul, Sam, Randy, Doug, Charlie, my wonderful, talented co-host Michelle Walker. I
And
love
Randy
you dearly.
Yohe, our talented
Hey,
storyteller.
Charlie, we want to thank you for coming out tonight. Make sure you check out our website, Route60Saturday.com. Look back on our Facebook page. Share all this stuff. Share it away. No doubt about it. We're grateful to you for your support for the Campbell Wayne Association of the Blind tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you for helping us raise money for them. It all goes to their overall cost. And just a real quick mention, tonight's show is in memory of Stephen Lewis.
Thanks Mike McCord, thanks Paul Calico, and Mike Bennett, all the players, and thank you all. Please drive home safely. Don't forget to buckle up those seatbelts. Good night, everybody.
Take it home, Doug.